What in the Republican came across my TikTok today?
$17.6 billion cut from the budget of your firefighters. When LA is known for brush fires like this. Do you know what that money was used for? That money was used to house and feed illegal immigrants. Why do I hear so many more people talking about these fires, which, don't get me wrong, are absolutely tragic? And I feel for anybody who is going through this. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. And for anyone saying, don't make this political, well, wake up. It is. Your governor refused to sign the water restoration declaration, which would have allowed so much water from up in North California, from snow and rain, to flow down to the areas that are currently being affected. Oh, and guess what? The fire hydrant's out of water. And this fire is 0%. The Biden administration just sent another $500 million to Ukraine.
No, it wasn't. Oh, it actually went to prioritizing the homeless populations and dealing with the camps on Skid Row. The Water Restoration Declaration? Yeah, there is no such thing as the Water Restoration Declaration. It's fictional. It doesn't even exist. Maybe you're not familiar with the State Water Project, but let me help you out here. The state of California was only getting 30% of their water from the north. I don't know why you keep saying they just weren't getting any water. They've only ever been getting like 30%. It's like she can't read to save her life. So these were the current major water supplies that they had for water that could go to all of these fire hydrants. Okay, you see all of them above average. I know you get your talking points from Donald Trump, but please stop doing it. That the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power was pumping from aqueducts and groundwater into the system. But demand was so high that it wasn't enough to refill 1 million gallon tanks in highly Pacific Palisades that helped. Because this fire didn't start in the wilderness and the brush and the leaves on the ground. It started in a residential area. Now let's deal with the hydrant problem. It was not a lack of overall supply. The head of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power said later at a new conference that 3 million gallons of water were available when the fire started. But the demand was 4 times greater than they've ever seen in that system because it was a residential fire. Instead, only 15% of LA County actually had dry fire hydrants because the pressure wasn't enough to get down to them. So let's talk about Ukraine funding because it didn't just happen this morning. The president has this thing called the Presidential Drawdown Authority, which is where they sent the $500 million. But it didn't come from the Biden administration. No, it came from the FAA Commission, which their budget gets congressionally approved. And that money was already allocated to Ukraine through the FAA budget that was passed through Congress. So what you're saying is the Republican-led Congress that has more people actually funded Ukraine? Yup. And then Biden used this authority to go ahead and send it right away. Glad I can help. This is your political mom. Educational purposes only. Viewer discretion advised.